Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, Prometheus, according to Greek mythology, was a titan who liked people. He was a people titan. And he gave human beings the knowledge of how to use fire. And because he did that, he was punished by the gods, tied to a rock while a bird, somewhat like a buzzard, would come around and eat his liver. But since he was immortal, the liver would grow back, so it was a never-ending punishment of eternal pain for giving human beings knowledge. Pandora was curious about what was in the box, and so she opened it and released all the evils into the world. Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge and were driven from paradise by an angry God, and all human beings were condemned because of that. What do all of these myths have in common? Every time human beings acquired knowledge, the gods became angry. And these are not just quaint stories, they are clear illustrations of what religion is all about. It was the religious authorities that made Socrates drink hemlock. Galileo was threatened with execution by the Church's Inquisition. Throughout history, the churches have resisted the advance in human knowledge. It was the Imam Ali who set Muslims back thousands of years by coming out against knowledge. So it's not just European religions, it's all over the world. Religion is the enemy of knowledge. And throughout history, the churches have always resisted advances in human knowledge. Whether it was discovery that the earth revolves around the sun, or the knowledge that disease is caused by germs and other organic processes and not by demons or as a punishment from God. And we still have people that still insist on that. There are religions that exist today that forbid people from taking advantage of medical knowledge to save their lives and insist that people should just pray as they watch their loved ones die. We have right-wing Christians who are hostile to science. We see it all the time. The people who unfortunately run the science committees in the House and the Senate couldn't pass a 5th grade science test because they're right-wing Christian kooks. And they want to teach their fairy tales in science class and substitute myth for actual knowledge, for actual scientific knowledge. And this is because deep down inside, even the most sincere believer harbors the knowledge, whether it's just below the level of consciousness, that what they teach and preach is a fraud. The Big Bang Theory and evolution destroy our creation myths. The sheer vastness of the universe makes the idea of a personal God who is focused on our tiny little speck of a planet and our personal lives absolutely absurd. As human beings become more knowledgeable and more thoughtful, the less meaningful religion becomes in their life. They may not actually leave their churches, but they don't do everything their religion says either. 90% of Catholic women, for example, have used birth control. Doesn't matter what the Pope says. They still consider themselves to be good Catholics. But Maybe they don't go to church every Sunday. And maybe they don't give as much money to the church. And that's the thing the church is really worried about. It's no coincidence that our most religious states have our worst schools, lag behind the rest of the country in education. Because the more people know, the less they believe. Eventually, religion will disappear from the face of the earth, or be confined to small pockets of people who will be looked upon with suspicion as dangerous lunatics. Right now, we are experiencing the last gasp of religion. The rise of religious fundamentalism is a direct response to our increase in knowledge and the fear that engenders in people. So we have this new primitivism happening. And it is a perfect illustration of how primitive and dangerous religion is, because it is marked by violence on all sides. Not just the Muslims. We like to think it's the Muslims. Oh, they're the violent religious extremists. Every religion has its violent religious extremists now. And they are the best argument against religion. Irrational people following an irrational God. In the future, if we are to survive, we're going to have to leave religion behind us. Thanks for listening.